Hi, I'm Shinobi, and today might be an interesting day, one where people love me and people hate me. Today we're going to talk about barbecue. Now, we can travel the country all over and we can see that there's many different types of barbecue. The barbecue I am going to work with today is a North Carolina based barbecue, which is a vinegar barbecue. Now, I know I had said that I was going to also put out a coleslaw video. Well, we're in luck because North Carolina barbecue has coleslaw on it. So this is going to be awesome. Vinegar North Carolina barbecue and coleslaw. Welcome to my kitchen. Alright, for this pulled pork barbecue, we are going to need some chicken stock, and we will need about 4 cups of chicken stock. I've come across this better than bouillon mix. So I have my saucepan with 4 cups of water, and the mixture rate is 1 teaspoon per cup. So I'm going to go ahead and get this simmering so I have my chicken stock ready. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my frying pan ready. Now, for this recipe, we are going to be making pulled pork sandwiches. So we are going to find pork shoulder, pork butt, and just so you know, pork tenderloin is not the same. So pork tenderloin is not going to be giving you the kind of meat and flavor that you want out of this. So get yourself some pork shoulder, pork butt. And what we're going to do is we are going to cut it into pieces. And we are going to go ahead and sear them off. So we have our pieces cut up into workable sizes. And we are going to go ahead and tenderize our meat, salt and pepper. One of the most important things to do is get your salt and pepper on your proteins. That's going to help draw out a lot of the flavors, really enhance the flavors in this. One of the big things is, do it to taste, though. You don't want to put, too much salt. It can ruin the whole thing. So, you can always put on more salt later. Pepper the same way. But make sure you get it seasoned up. And I really like this. Grinding my own pepper right over it. For some reason, it just gives a stronger pepper flavor to it. I really recommend this pepper grinder. Alright, so we have our meat seasoned. Let's go ahead and put some oil in that pan. And we are going to heat up about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. I am using a nonstick pan. I would recommend I would recommend using a Teflon pan if you can to help it from sticking. But we will heat up our oil. I'm going to spread it around and let it get hot. And let's go ahead and get that magical sear. That is a sound to behold. So our objective is to get all our meat in here, and we want to get a good sear on the outside of our pork shoulder, pork butt. I'm going to keep up with my chicken stock here. Alright, I think we have this seared down pretty good. And now we are going to move our meat, our pork, into a crock pot. Now this is the real secret behind a delicious pulled pork, is we want to slow cook it. It's going to help it become a melt in your mouth texture. And that's really the secret, is slow cooking your pork so it just falls apart. Alright, so we are going to put 1 cup of apple cider into our hot pan that we just seared our pork into. As you can see, there's a lot of little bits and pieces in there. The objective of putting the apple cider vinegar in there is to help loosen up and release those little seared, tender pieces of pork. So we're going to go ahead and clean our pan with the apple vinegar. And we will add that to our crock pot. And we are also going to add our 4 cups of chicken broth. And then we have liquid smoke. We are going to put in 1/2 a tablespoon of liquid smoke. And we will set our slow cooker, our crock pot, to cook for 4 hours on high. And this is going to make our meat just beautiful and tender. And that means that we can walk away and we can get on to our coleslaw. Alright, some of you are returning for the continuing story of cabbage and coleslaw. I hope that I have a number of repeats that are coming in from the stuffed cabbage video I did. So what we are going to do is take a very sharp knife and we are going to slice down the remainder of our cabbage, both our red and our green cabbage. We're going to try and get it as thinly sliced as we can. And this is going to really give us a nice home-style type cabbage. Or home-style coleslaw, I should say. So yeah, just get in there and cut up your cabbage. And then we'll go ahead and, after we get this sliced up, we're going to go ahead and take that over and rinse that off and wash that down really good under the sink. Hopefully you have a strainer to go ahead and clean up your cabbage. And hopefully we have a big bowl that we can work with too. There we go, I got my strainer here. It's a really ingenious thing. It's a collapsible colander. Dump all that in there and go ahead and wash this off and let it rinse and kind of drip dry. And now we are going to get some carrots. And we will peel some carrots. I am going to show you that not only are my knife skills getting good, but my peeling skills are impeccable. Now, I got about 5 carrots here, but then again, I did chop up a little cabbage. And as I kind of cut these down and I started working with them, I started to realize that 5 carrots might be a little bit too much. So, depending on how much cabbage you are shredding off, you can kind of gauge 2, 3, 4 carrots And I'm going to cut them down into wedges, and as you may notice, I didn't put it in a blooper reel. I have that one carrot that's kind of lingering. So let's get our dressing ready so we can go ahead and mix all our stuff together and get our dressing in. The dressing is really simple, just think in twos. We are going to start with 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. If you want, there are olive oil mayonnaise out there, works just as well as regular mayonnaise. A little more low calorie. Then we are going to use 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. So we have our 2 mayo, 2 Dijon mustard, and we have 2 tablespoons of a red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, or a cider vinegar. You could use your apple cider vinegar as well in here. So put in 2 tablespoons of that. And we're also going to put in some olive oil, but I am going to mix this up really quick because I have some thicker liquids with the mayo and the mustard with the vinegar, and I just kind of want to break that down because this can get really messy when you start mixing it together. And let's add our 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So once again, that's 2 mayonnaise, 2 Dijon mustard, 2 vinegar, either red wine, white wine, or apple cider vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, or you could actually use canola oil. That will work just as well. So we go ahead and put it up really good. And let's go ahead and get our giant bowl ready. And I am going to break up my cabbage a little bit more and mix in my carrots. So as I get all this mixed together, and then we're going to go ahead and put the dressing in there. And as I said, this is kind of a home-style coleslaw here. And home-style being, you know, it's going to be thicker leaves, thicker carrots. But I have a little something up my sleeve. And unfortunately, they are not a sponsor of mine, but I actually do have a chopper. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed together. And we can use it just like this. Or if you want to get more of a traditional, what you're going to find when you go to the grocery store and get pre-made coleslaw and everything. I have this little chopper here. And this is awesome. So what you do is, you have your container, you have your blade, and you just go ahead and fill your container up. You know, making sure we get a good mix of the red cabbage, the green cabbage, the carrots. And this is where it's just really beautiful. You put it on the top. And you pull out the handle. And you pull on it like you are starting a lawnmower, like you are starting a chainsaw. And this thing is just amazing. Go ahead and give it a few pulls. If the engine starts, you're in trouble. But look at this. This is going to grind it down into this beautiful, fine coleslaw. And just take a look at how nice and chopped this is. As I said, you can do the traditional. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. This little handy-dandy thing will get it all cut down into small pieces. And that goes perfect with your pulled pork sandwich. So we're going to go ahead, and it's been 4 hours. I know time flies when we're having fun. 4 hours and our pork has been cooking. Now what I'm going to do is get in there and I am just going to start pulling apart the meat in the juices. So this is going to really help the vinegar just really get into your meat, give it a nice full flavor, get that Carolina barbecue flavor, you know, of the pulled pork with the vinegar flavor. That's what North Carolina barbecue is all about. Alright, so we'll pull apart our meats and make our sandwiches with our fresh coleslaw, or just have the coleslaw by itself. Thanks everybody for joining in. I hope you give this a try. Make sure you share the video, subscribe, like, and comment below. Thanks everybody. Alright, so we're going to get our grater out, and we will go ahead and run our cabbage down our flat side of... Wait, no. This isn't going to work. Let's try something else. Yeah. Hi, welcome to the kitchen. Today we're